In this screencast, we're going to take a look at how to create a simple button using the rectangle tool and having it have a rollover state. So when we roll over that button, it will change color. So the first thing I'll do is open up Flash, and I'm going to use my rectangle tool. So I'll select that, and I'll choose a light blue, say, for my button. I'll click and hold and drag, and that's perfect. So I have this black stroke and I have this light blue color. And then I'll choose my text tool and I'll click and I'll type click here. And you can see that it's the same color blue, so I want to change that. So I'll select the text, go to properties, and I'll go ahead and choose black. And I can really make it just a hair bigger. Let's go ahead and make it 18. Yeah, that looks good. And then I'm going to use my selection tool and just arrow it into place, the approximate center. That looks good. Okay, so now all that's really needed is I need to select this and convert it to a button, because right now it's just a graphic that's on my screen. So using the selection tool, I will click in the upper left and drag to the lower right, let go, and you can see that it's selected everything, the stroke, the fill color, and the text. And I can go up to modify, convert to symbol, or you could simply hit F8 on your keyboard. Go ahead and select this, and then just make sure this is selected to button, and you can give it a name. I'll call it button 1. Button 1, and click OK. And now if I look in my library, you can see that I have button 1. So I can drag these out by clicking and holding and drag out copies of the button. Not really set, so I'm going to delete those. And there's two ways to edit this. Now if I type here, I'll say click on button to move to scene 2. Okay, and I can reposition that how it might look like that. Okay, so here's my button, and it says click on button to move to scene 2. Well, if I want to edit this button, which I do want to do at this point to give it a rollover state, I could do two things. I could double click on the button icon in the library, and you'll see that it opens up the button, but I don't see the stage. So what I like to do is I'm going to go back to scene 1, and I could click just on this button, double click on it, and it opens it up, and you can see how this is grayed out. But I could see this, which might come in handy when I go to do my hit state. See that this button has 3 additional states that I can work on. There's the over, down, and hit. So what I can do is hit F6 on my keyboard to insert keyframes, and basically it's just making a copy of that original button. So if I go to the over state, I'm going to click and I'm going to change this fill color to say a light green. Use my paint bucket, click. So now up is blue. You roll over it, it's green. Down is the same color blue, so let's change that to a dark blue. Okay, so now we have the up, over, and let's change our hit state. I'm going to delete some of the things I don't need, like I don't need the text, and I don't need this stroke, but this I'll keep, the fill, and I'm going to just use my transform tool to make the hit state take up all this area. Okay, so I'll go back and I'll test this, and you can see now, and I roll over, it turns green, and it doesn't even matter because I extended the hit state. You can see that anywhere I roll over, it is turning it green. And when I push down, it's that dark blue. And so that's how to create a simple button using the rectangle tool.